Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study English class 12 CBSE. Book name is Flamingo and our poem is A Roadside Stand, written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost was a highly acclaimed American poet. He wrote about characters, people and landscapes. His poems are concerned with human tragedies and fears, and his reaction to the complexities of life and his ultimate acceptance of his burdens. In this poem, A Roadside Stand, he presents the lives of poor, deprived rural people with the deepest sympathy and humanity. Before we start the poem, I will request you to jot down my website address. If you visit my website, you can find a lot of information regarding your chapters. Well explained chapters, meaning of difficult words, and whatever question answer I have been able to give. After a few moments, we will rub it off. Okay? So we go ahead. The little old house was out with a little new shed. The poet is explaining a little old house, and there they had extended a little new shed for the purpose of this roadside stand. In front, at the edge of the road where the traffic sped, this roadside stand they had constructed at the edge of the road where traffic sped, passed through fast. A roadside stand that too pathetically played. A roadside stand that too pathetically played. This played is past tense of plead. Plead means to request, to urge. Pathetically played. Here the poet has personified the roadside stand. He is talking about the roadside stand as if roadside stand is a person. A person pleads, a person requests, a person urges, but here the roadside stand pathetically played. It was pleading to the passengers who were passing through. It would not be fair to say for a dole of bread. It's not true that the roadside stand people who owned this, they were pleading for a dole of bread. Dole means charity. They were not asking alms, they were not asking charity. What they were asking? But for some of the money, the cash, whose flow supports the flower of cities from sinking and withering fent. These roadside stand people, they didn't want any charity. They wanted that people who pass by, they should stop for a moment, buy something of their goods. That way they get some cash. They are very cash starved. They are very cash starved. They are rural poor people. Right? So they want some cash to tide over their difficulties. The polished traffic passed with a mind ahead. Here the poet says the polished traffic. It means traffic of the urban people, people from the cities, passing through, and they were passing through with a mind ahead. They didn't even bother, they didn't even care to see that there was a roadside stand and people wished that travelers should stop for a while and buy some goods of theirs. Their mind, the people who were traveling from the city, their mind was ahead. They didn't even think of roadside stand. Or if ever aside a moment, or if they stayed aside on the side of the road for a moment, then out of sorts at having the landscape marred with the artless paint, even if one or two of them stopped aside beside the road, what did they do? They started blaming that due to this roadside stand, the scenery is being marred, means spoiled. It was a very beautiful place, so the passers-by thought that due to this roadside stand, the beautiful scenery is being spoiled. Rather than helping those poor rural people, they are thinking that it is spoiling the scenery, so it is better that this roadside stand is not there, right? Of signs, SIGNS, that with N turned wrong and S turned wrong. The poor rural people are so deprived that they have used the road sign N and S. N is for north, S is for south. So this also, out of their illiteracy, they have not written correctly. So what happens? The passengers get confused. Which way is north or which way is south? They get confused. Offered for sale wild berries in wooden quads. On the roadside, the rural people are selling wild berries in wooden quads. Quads means, you can say boxes or container. In that they are selling wild berries. This is what they produce, one of the things. Or crooked, naked, golden squares with silver warts. Wild berries plus what they are selling? Squash. A squash is a vegetable like gourd. Crooked, naked. Neck of the squash is crooked, not straight. Crooked, naked, golden squares with silver warts. What is the silver wart? Suppose the surface of this pen is smooth. Then you find that something is protruding out of the surface which is uneven, unequal, uneven, rough. So that is called wart. Silver wart they are calling. The vegetable that they were selling, the outer surface of the vegetable was uneven, right? Then, or beauty rest in a beautiful mountain scene. It was a very beautiful place. The scenery was very good. Nearby there is a mountain. From here you can see from the roadside stand how beautiful it is. You have the money, but if you want to be mean, why keep your money this costly and go along? The roadside people think, ask themselves, they are not asking the passers-by. They are not asking the passers-by because they cannot annoy the passers-by. So they say, if you are having money, city people are having money, and if you want to be mean, why do you want to do this so crossly? Crossly. CROSSLY. Crossly means, what does it mean crossly? In an ill-natured manner, not in a decent way, indecent way, ill-natured manner, not in a good-natured manner. If you want to hold your money, don't spend it, then why do you want to be so mean, so ill-natured in the process of holding money? Right? Then, the hurt to the scenery would not be my complaint, so much as the trusting sorrow of what is unsaid. The poet says that that the hurt to the scenery in the process of erecting this roadside stand, I may not feel very bad regarding that. I may not feel very bad regarding the hurt or injury to the scenery, beautiful scenery caused by erection of this roadside stand, but I will be very hurt at what? I will be very hurt at the trusting sorrow of what is unsaid. Trusting sorrow. The sorrow of the poor rural people arises out of they have put a lot of trust in the people that they will stop for a while, buy something, that way I will get some cash and I will try to tide over my difficulties. Right? So trusting sorrow. Poet will feel more pained at the sorrow of the roadside poor villagers rather than at some damage caused to the beautiful scenery. Here, far from the city, we make our roadside stand and ask for some city money to fill in hand. It's from the side of the roadside stand people. We are here far from the city and we make our roadside stand. We construct our roadside stand and ask for some city money. City money means same money which is lying with the people who are traveling from the city people, money lying with city people, to feel in hand. We want to feel some money in our hands to try if it will not make our being expand. By having some money, a little money, they want to see whether they can improve their circumstances, their poor circumstances, and give us the life of the moving pictures of promise that the party in power is said to be keeping from us. The political party presently in the power had promised them that we will give you the luxury of motion pictures. Right? We will give you the luxury of motion pictures, but the party is not fulfilling that promise which they had made. It is in the news that all these pitiful kin are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theatre and the store. Recently there was a piece of news in the newspapers that these poor people, village people, deprived people will be brought out with lot of mercy shown from the politicians and the authorities, and they will be put close to the theatre and shopping malls, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore, where these poor people, village people, will not have to worry much, right? While greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey, swarm over their lives, enforcing benefits. Here, the poet is mentioning the hypocrisy, double standard. Greedy good doers. He is calling them, the authorities, the politicians, whosoever are in power, the people who matter. So he is mentioning the word greedy good doers. So, in the eyes of the public, they are good doers who do good for others, who are responsible for doing good for others. But what they are? They are greedy in the process, right? Swarm over their lives, enforcing benefits. So these greedy good doers swarm over the lives of the poor rural people, bringing out so many benefits for the poor. But what do they do in the process? And another word used is greedy good doers and beneficent beasts of prey. Beneficent beasts of prey. See, they are the beasts, animals, wild animals, but they are seen as beneficent, as if they are very kind, they do good for others, but in reality they are beasts of prey. So once again, these things exhibit hypocrisy and double standards. Double standard, right? That are calculated to soothe them out of their wits. So many benefits that rather than these poor people for whom those benefits are meant, these authorities and politicians feel very happy at the announcement of those benefits because they are going to benefit more rather than the poor rural people. And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day. Whatever benefits these people are trying to bring, apparently, whatever benefits these politicians and authorities are apparently trying to bring from the rural poor, it is meant to give them good sleep to the rural poor, because once their problems are sorted out, they can have good sleep at night. But what happens? Rather than the poor villagers sleeping, the politicians and authorities sleep soundly, rather than these poor people sleeping soundly. Destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. What is the ancient way? Ancient way is daytime we work, night time we sleep. But the position of these rural poor people is so bad that these people cannot even sleep at night. They spend sleepless nights due to problems. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. The poet says, sometimes he feels himself that he can hardly tolerate, he can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. So, what is the childish longing? A longing which the poet is harboring since childhood. So, what is the childhood longing? Childhood longing refers to, since early childhood, these poor rural people think that the passers-by should stop for a moment, and even if they are not going to buy anything from them, at least they should try to know their plight. Right? Childhood longing. From the early age, these poor rural people wish that the city people who pass through that highway, they should stop for a moment, and even if they didn't want to buy anything from them and give out cash, at least they should be stopping for a while to know the poor condition of the poor rural people. Right? The sadness that lurks near the open window there, that waits all day in almost open prayer. These people keep on looking out of their windows, seeing and wishing and praying that somebody comes, stops for a while, buys something from us, gives some cash, and we try to sort out our problems with that little cash. For the squeal of brakes, they want to listen to the sound of brakes of vehicles so that they can come to know that somebody is stopping nearby. The sound of a stopping car, they want to listen to sound of a stopping car. Of all the thousand selfish cars that pass, just one to inquire what a farmer's prices are, is telling selfish cars. Means cars are not selfish, but the occupants of the cars, the city people who are traveling in the cars, are selfish. Thousands of cars are passing by. But even if a car stops nearby, it stops not to buy anything from them, not to ask their, know about their poor condition, but for what? To know, inquire about a farmer's prices, the prices of a farmer's produce. And one did stop, but only to plow up grass. In using the yard to back and turn around. One of the cars stopped also, but it didn't stop once again for buying something from them or for knowing their poor circumstances. It stopped for taking a turn by using the space in the yard of the roadside stand. Still another stopped to ask the way where it was bound. Still another car stopped, but this also didn't stop to buy any product of theirs or to know about their poor circumstances. It asked the way where it was bound, where the road leads to. Where does this road lead to? Because N and S was not correct. The direction shown by north and south symbol was not correct. And another to ask, could they sell it a gallon of gas? They couldn't this crossly. They had none. Didn't it see? Then the poet writes, then still another car stopped. And what did the owner ask? Can I have a gallon of gas? There vehicles run on gas. Like here vehicles run on petrol and diesel. So one car owner stopped nearby and inquired about gas, fuel for his car. Right? Then the poet writes, they couldn't this crossly. They couldn't ask in such an ill-natured way. They couldn't ask in such an ill-natured way because the way they asked, it appeared to be very, very ill-natured. Why did it appear to be so ill-natured? Because the poet asked, they had none. These people don't sell gas. Didn't it see? Didn't the car owner see that these roadside stand people, they don't sell gas? Means it shows in a very serious way how careless, how callous, how indifferent, how insensitive urban people are towards the plight of the rural poor. It shows a very wide divide, right? No, in country money, the country scale of gain, the requisite lift of spirit has never been found. As we discussed in the beginning, these people are very, very cash starved. There is very little cash with them than what they should have. Very little cash. So, the poet says a little bit of cash, money, would have elevated their spirits, their moods, their mental state. Right? But he says, the requisite lift of spirit has never been found. It means the tragic situation of the poor village people breaks the poet's heart so much that the poet finds it difficult to bear that pain. Or so the voice of the country seems to complain, I can't help owning the great relief it would be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain. The poet wishes that I would like that in one stroke the miseries, the difficulties, the problems of these poor rural people are removed. He wishes that in one stroke it should be done. It should happen. And then next day, as I come back into the scene, means when I become conscious, when I realize, when I come to my senses, come back to my senses, what does he see? And the next day as I come back into the same, means come back to my senses, common sense, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. The poet says, first what does he do? He wishes that their problems, their misery should be ended in one stroke. But next day, he comes back to his senses. The common sense prevails upon him. And then he realizes that it's not that easy to do. It's not that easy to achieve. It's not that easy to accomplish. What? What is not easy to achieve? Alleviation of the miseries, alleviation of the miseries of the poor rural people. Right? Then he said, lastly he said, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. The poet wants to be out of this pain. What pain? He sees the poorer rural people suffering for acute shortage of cash. What do they do? Suppose I produce X thing. I produce X, but I need so many things to survive, to have my life running on, going on. So for that I need some medium of exchange, that is money. These people don't have money, or it's highly insufficient, it's highly inadequate as compared to their requirements. And the politicians and the authorities, they have made very, very bright promises, but they have not kept their promises. Right? City people, they don't care, they don't mind, they just go past them without even looking there, as if their mind is ahead. Right? So, in this poem, the poet has presented the lives of poor, deprived people with the deepest sympathy and humanity. Right? I hope you got this poem totally easy to understand. In case of any query, please write to me on my email, which will be available on my thumbnail, and please do visit my website where you can get lot of information. Okay? Thank you very much.